It's time for a short, serious video. This video is about mental health. Now, by far and away, on my channel I would prefer to make non-serious things, something that will entertain you. But once in a while, I feel obligated to help whoever I can, in whatever way I can. Many people take physical health really seriously, and that's good. But a lot of people seem to forget about mental health. Now, I'm speaking from experience. I'll put together a playlist at the top here and also at the end of the video. These are videos that start off telling my story, what happened to me probably 17 years ago now, when I had a breakdown at work. Now, depression, anxiety is very, very common. The trouble is, a lot of people never talk to anyone about it. And sometimes people that they do talk about things to aren't really the people they should be speaking to. I doubt there's a person on the planet that at times doesn't feel depressed or down or troubled in some way. If you're one of those people that think you never feel that way, well, then you're either extremely lucky or you're not being honest with yourselves. There are people that you can talk to that are a little bit more objective than just friends. By all means, talk with friends. But if you happen to have a friend that you unload your issues to and they say, oh, just build a bridge and get over it or something like that, maybe you should tell them to get stuffed, because that is really so unhelpful. What I'm going to recommend to you, and this spontaneous video was inspired by a very close mate of mine who unfortunately a few years back tried to commit suicide, and this wasn't his first time. If you're familiar with Brisbane and know the Story Bridge, you'll see that some years ago they now installed a anti-climb fence. It was because of my mate that this happened, as he went there with full intentions to jump off. Now, I don't know if he spoke to anyone else about it. I don't think so. He didn't speak to me about it. Luckily, he was pulled back and the fence was put in as a reaction. A good reaction too. They did the same on the Gateway Bridge many years ago because people were also jumping off there. But as he said on his channel recently, it doesn't really help to talk to anyone about it because it's very difficult to get these things through. So what I'm going to recommend to you, after you check out my playlist, because there are some helpful things on there that I found helped me anyway, and I think they might help you. And that's always been the prime objective of my channel. Far and above everything else, if I can help one person, and I know I have by the comments on different things, then my job here is done. And I'll continue doing my job as long as I can. But what I'm going to suggest to you, if you really have a chronic case of depression, anxiety, I would bypass going to a psychologist. Yes, there are some good ones around. Get a referral from your doctor, your GP, whatever you call it in your country, to a psychiatrist, because they are the only ones that can administer or prescribe medications that can often help. I went to a psychiatrist for a long time after my breakdown. And yes, I think I've taken practically every prescription medication to do with that on the planet. Some I found useful, others I didn't. The first ones I tried, whatever they were, was a little bit like walking around protected in a cloud, so to speak, not literally. Anyway, the point is, over time, I learnt to cope. The medications were an assistance, not a cure. The one thing I'll say, and the only benefit I have ever found in getting older, because I'm now in my mid-50s, nothing I can do about that, but the one benefit is, I suppose, wisdom is one term, but also you tend to chill out, you mellow out a bit more, a little bit more anyway. Most people do. I've tried to not care as much about things that once upon a time would have annoyed me. Look, I'm far from perfect. I still worry every day. Anxiety is a part of my life. My mum and dad were also big worriers, so perhaps these things can be hereditary. I'm not sure. As a guy I used to work with once said about the clients, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, and perhaps he's right. Sometimes I'll take a prescription Valium just to chill things out, and that does help. So there are medications out there. Don't feel ashamed that you have... Look, the world's full of craziness and crazy people, and crazy things happen. It doesn't mean that you are crazy. It's just really hard to adjust to some of these things because there's so much information bombarded at you and so many things you find that don't quite go to plan in life. People that let you down, people that you trust, and then it could be years you find, well, they're not trustworthy and why did I do all that? It's just life. There's nothing wrong with you if you're feeling anxious or depressed or something like that. Okay, but please don't keep it bottled up inside yourself, because some people, I can think of many, some people just, if they're very serious about they don't want to be here, they end up not being here. And that's a bloody shame. I've known some very nice people that I just wish were still here. So as I said, this is not the sort of video I like to make. I did make a couple of videos a few years ago and a couple of helpful things a bit more recently. They'll be on that playlist if you care to have a look. But I'll start with the full story of what happened to me. And believe me, at the time, I hummed and hawed about even making that public for weeks and weeks. Put it online and then I took it off, and look, it's just out there. If it helps you, like I say, I've done what I set out to do. Okay, now hopefully back to more light-hearted things, but once in a while you have to take stock of yourself, and yeah, just you need to be healthy up here. And some people are born unhealthy that way. When I say unhealthy, look, if you hurt your arm or leg, you know, if there's a lump you find, you go to the doctor. Don't not go to the doctor. It's the same thing. It's just a metaphysical thing. If that's the right word. It's early and I haven't had enough coffee. So go see your GP, your doctor. Don't keep it bottled up inside you forever, because I want you here. I want to make videos to entertain you. Okay? Alright. Take care. And cheers.